Welcome to Impact Signals, Social Impact at the Scale of AI. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Sarah.
It's Friday, July 10, 2026, episode 69. Today, humanitarian agencies are starting to measure their own AI use instead of just piloting it. UNHCR reports it's running 5 separate AI tools in the field at once. A new 144-country survey finds 93% of aid workers already use AI, while barely 1 in 5 work under a formal policy. And Typhoon Bavi is bearing down on China's coast tonight. We start in Geneva, where UNHCR, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, has just published a rundown of AI tools it says are actually running in the field, not sitting in a pilot phase. The announcement is timed to the close of the AI for Good Global Summit, which wrapped in Geneva today.
What makes this significant is that UNHCR paired the deployment list with its own risk list. Refugees and displaced people are the population whose forecasting, legal aid, and logistics decisions this AI now touches directly, and the agency is naming algorithmic bias, low connectivity data gaps, and deepfakes targeting refugees as open risks, not burying them.
UNHCR names 5 live use cases: displacement forecasting in Somalia, agent-based modeling of return movements in Ukraine, pharmacy stock prediction in Tanzania, fuel management analytics in Burundi, and a legal analysis tool covering refugee law across more than 200 countries.
The model is the easy part. The hard part is the connectivity and data gaps UNHCR itself flagged. Forecasting tools are only as good as the field data feeding them, and Somalia and Burundi are exactly the low connectivity settings the agency named as a risk.
5 deployments running at once, 1 legal tool covering 200+ countries. That's the operational scale UNHCR is claiming this week.
For practitioners, the takeaway is to study those 5 use cases as concrete references, not the vague AI for refugees pitch, and to publish the same kind of paired risk list next to any new field deployment. That's the governance line worth copying.
Moving to the governance side of this story, Tech Policy Press just published a survey that quantifies what practitioners have been saying anecdotally. 2,539 aid workers across 144 countries were asked whether and how they use AI.
What makes this significant is the gap. 93% of those aid workers report using AI tools, 70% weekly or daily, but only 22% work under a formal organizational AI policy.
Sector-wide, the same piece puts nonprofit AI use at 82%, against fewer than 10% with formal governance in place. The survey cites the World Food Programme, UNHCR, the International Rescue Committee, the International Committee of the Red Cross, Access Now, Net Hope, and the CDAC network.
That gap is the direct link to today's UNHCR story. Adoption is real, and it's running on vulnerable population data right now. The gap is measured now, not anecdotal. For NGO leadership, this survey is the citable number to build an AI policy before the next AI procurement decision, not after.
Third signal: financial inclusion. Money Management International, a non-profit credit counseling network, just opened a financial well-being AI lab and a 10-week AI for social impact summer fellowship in San Francisco, run with Next Ladder Ventures, MIT's Bike Shop Lab, and Anthropic.
What makes this significant is who the fellowship targets. People who need financial counseling but never enter the system in the first place. That's a harder population to reach than the usual chatbot pitch.
The fellowship runs a discovery then build structure over its 10 weeks. It's distinct from Claude Core. That's Anthropic's other, broader nonprofit fellowship. This one is narrower and financial inclusion specific.
For financial inclusion practitioners weighing an AI build, MMI's discovery then build structure is a template worth copying. Scope the pilot around the population that never shows up, not the one already walking through the door.
Fourth signal: drug shortages. A University of Toronto spinout called MaTRX is using real-time market data and AI forecasting to flag drugs headed for a shortage up to a year out, with monthly updates.
What makes this significant is the validation number. In testing, 25% of the drugs MaTRX flagged as high risk went on to actually enter a shortage.
The tool comes out of the university's Leslie Dan Faculty of Pharmacy and its Institute of Health Emergencies and Pandemics, built by researchers Meena Tadras and Shanzeh Shouri.
25% isn't noise. Health system and procurement teams in the field should treat a monthly refreshed forecast like this as lead time to substitute or stockpile, not as a replacement for their own procurement review.
Fifth signal: briefly. New York University has opened a free cybersecurity clinic, funded by Craig Newmark Philanthropies, pairing law and engineering students with under-resourced New York City nonprofits, schools, clinics, and legal aid organizations, explicitly citing AI-accelerated attacks as the urgency.
Small nonprofits can't afford commercial cybersecurity. They're also the ones doing frontline field work. If you're an under-resourced nonprofit in the NYC area, that clinic is a real, free resource to use instead of going without.
On the disaster watch, GDAX, the Global Disaster Alert and Coordination System, has a red alert active on Typhoon Bavi, bearing down on China's Fujian and Zhejiang coast with landfall forecast for tomorrow evening and roughly 53 million people exposed. GDAX also has an orange alert on an uncontained forest fire in Trévillach, France, with more than 5,000 hectares burned, and a standing orange alert on Madagascar's drought. Now more than 33 weeks old, with 1.6 million people facing acute food insecurity.
The Madagascar drought is the direct link to today's lead story. It's the same low connectivity, data gap risk UNHCR named for its own forecasting tools. 33 weeks in. No fast AI fix for a slow onset crisis like that.
For funding, the Brandtech Group and One Young World are offering a fully funded AI for Good scholarship for African leaders aged 18 to 30, deadline August 2. Japan's Public Resource Foundation has an agrivoltaics grant of up to 10 million yen per project for community climate resilience, deadline August 19. And the Texas General Land Office has a public comment window open on its disaster mitigation reallocation plan, closing August 6.
The one to watch is the Brandtech Scholarship. It's not a project grant. It's fully funded travel and mentorship, so the application has to prove responsible AI impact you've already delivered, not a plan you intend to build.
The through line today is that humanitarian agencies are starting to measure their own AI use instead of just piloting it. UNHCR with 5 named deployments. The sector as a whole with a survey that puts a number on the governance gap.
The organizations getting this right are publishing the risk list next to the deployment list. That's the design principle worth copying, not the deployment alone.
That's Impact Signals for Friday, July 10, 2026. If this briefing is useful, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out at impactsignals.ai and share it with someone working in the field.
Stay ready.